If I were futuristic, I love to become a scientist. So, what up, y'all? Eric Creel, the Reviewer King in Stepwatch 2002 here. I here today to review the film Meet the Robinsons. So, Meet the Robinsons tells a story about one kid named Lewis who loves invent things, and then when Lewis goes to science fair for their classmates, and then suddenly happens to meet with the newly improved invention thing, but it can't because it got failed miserably. And then when suddenly happens is when future Lewis's brother, which is a villain, and which suddenly happens is when Lewis is a pretty sad thing that he can't do it anymore. And then when Lewis meet Wilbur Robinson, and they like to go on a future of today land in 2037. And then suddenly happens is when Lewis blows up Wilbur Robinson's future car. And then when suddenly happens is when Lewis and Wilbur Robinson want to help to fix it. And then they need the help with assistant robot thing. And then when and then when Lewis's brother or the future Lewis's brother show an invention to or make Lewis invention, and then what suddenly happens is when it got fails miserably at the mark in Inventco. And when suddenly happens is when Lewis and Wilbur want to help to find a way to fix it, and what suddenly happens is when Lewis goes into the new dimension of tunnel, and then when to meet with all kinds of Robinsons or the Robinson people. And then what suddenly happens is when Wilbur, who wants to talk about Lewis, to want to help to fix things. And then when suddenly happens is when Wilbur and Lewis need some help. And then when future Lewis's brother, who want to find out, to take a look, to found into the way in for to speak to the unknown. And then suddenly when the Robinsons family who want to eat in the dinner, and then when Lewis wanted to give it a demonstration for a PB&J shooter, but suddenly it got quirky, weirdly iconic situation. Remember in the opening scene when Lewis invent peanut butter and jelly shooter, but it has fails miserably that some of the male character who got allergic to peanut. That's so funny. Enough of that. Continue my plot. And then when Lewis found to be a children, when Lewis is a children, when Lewis talk about Robinson that it will never give up. And then when Lewis saw Tiny T Rex, and then what suddenly happens is it's basically like the rescue mission to stop being sacrificed to help come back when for that thing with a hat thing. And then what suddenly happens is as soon as Lewis's fix about Wilbur Robinson's future car, and then they like to find a way to stop being sacrificed to help future Lewis's brother in all costs and to be nice and to be good. And then suddenly when Lewis meets future Lewis's brother and to meet with Wilbur Robinson at the end. And then they all come back to the today land while stop being a sacrifice. And then when Wilbur Robinson thanks to Lewis, and then what suddenly happens is when Lewis finally meets future Lewis to invent something new every day. And then it's basically happens is when Lewis finally fixes his new invention, and then Lewis's brother never give up, until they catch the ball. And then when Lewis gives a demonstration to see how look it is. And then when Lewis became the new Lewis's parents. And then they decide to go to the new home for invention. That's pretty much the plot. What have I heard of Meet the Robinsons? Ah, yes. As a kid, I watched those bits and pieces. It's part of my childhood. And then I just watched that back in my elementary school area at my West Texas state back in 2015. And then I just finally watched that film on Disney Plus for the whole entire film. And then, what do I think of it? It's awesome! Excuse. This is by doubt the most underrated Disney animated feature, and this is the very first good Disney revival age to start. And what's even cooler about this film? This film released on March 30th of 2007 to be released in Disney Digital 3D. I love that it should make people who love Disney Digital 3D to put on some 3D glasses and make more magic believe in 3D. Okay, let's take a look at the animation. Animation, very cool, which is based on a book by William Joyce. The story, very makes sense. The characters, we got Lewis, the main character. He's awesome. And then we have Wilbur Robinson, which is another main character. He's cool. And then the Robinson people look very awesome, including the swinging, singing toads. That is awesome. And then we have future Lewis's brother, which is the main villain. He's pretty funny. But then when future Lewis's brother turning good at the end, that is awesome. And then we have Lewis's brother. He's nice. And then we have Lewis's mom. She's nice. And then we have Lewis's new parents. That is awesome. Including the grandpa. It looks pretty funny. And then grandma looks really funny. And yes, including Mr. Willerstein, played by the legendary Tom Kenny, which is the same person who did SpongeBob. And then we have Uncle Art, played by legendarily Adam West, which is the same person who did Bruce Wayne from Batman. That is awesome. All of the other characters look super cool, including Danny Elfman music scores. That is awesome, which is the exact same music score was Batman 1989, and of course, Tim Burton films. So yeah, do I have issues and negatives? Nope. I do not know why on RottenTomatoes.com way back when in 2007, because Blades of Glory land on number 1 and Meet the Robinsons land on number 2, but that's alright. But is this my favorite anime feature of 2007? Well, technically, Ratatouille was my favorite anime feature of 2007. So, overall, it gets a 9 out of 10. And it gets the seal of epic masterpiece. So, what do you think of Meet the Robinsons? Whether you liked it or not, comment below and let me know. And stay tuned for more videos coming your way. So, bye!